How's everyone?
Good. Surviving.
Great. Good evening, Doctor.
What time is in your place? Some of you may now in the morning, some of you in the
4
night.
p.m.
What time is at your place now?
4 p.m. in China.
Same time. Okay. Now we come to the end of the sessions, yeah, and we meet at the first session, and then now we meet again in the final session, which is session 5. So I think because this is a session where we conclude, all the discussion for the what was that the topics related to the research activities. So we come to the end, and we will discuss about how to wrap up with the discussion with the preparing proposal. So the last topic we'll be discussing is to share with you about the preparing proposal activities. Proposal activities. So hopefully by sharing this, at least you can get some idea. For some, maybe this is more to refresher. Maybe you have done the research before during your master's level, but I think this is a good time for you if you think that the past experiences about conducting research and preparing proposals is very, very useful to be shared in the session. So we appreciate for you to share in the session, especially facing or dealing with the challenges and the difficulties during starting off the research activities. Yeah. Okay, so we expect that for those who have gone through these processes, so you are free to share in the session, especially to those who have not yet going through this kind of activities. All right. If we look back to the topics, the topics preparing proposals, preparing proposal. It's stated in the general information of the course, where the final topics will be research proposal preparation. I think everyone also aware and have the copy of the information. Okay. So today we try our best to share with you, and then making use of the previous sessions, in understanding how to prepare a proposal, a research proposal. It's not really difficult topics, but there are some challenges and the actual objectives underpinnings why we need to propose, why we need to prepare the proposals before we can begin our research. Okay. All right. In the simpler manner, if I can say, how do you understand it? Before that, let us share about our thought. Yeah. How do you understand proposal? Anyone would like to respond? How do you understand proposal?
Assalamualaikum, Doctor.
Yeah,
But
walaikum salam. Yes, Anna.
initial plan that we offer for our future project, we just describing the things related to the issue and how we are going to deal with it in the methodology chapter.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, try again. Anyone? I mean, yeah, anything, how you understand proposals. And to me, it's very simple. How do we understand proposal is something that have not yet to be started. Simple as that. You know, like when you want to propose to someone, yeah? When you want to propose to someone, will you marry me? You know, this kind of situation. So we propose to a girl or a woman, right? A woman. Why we propose? Because we want to marry the girl. Okay? So it's up to the girl whether they want to accept the proposal. Sometimes they refuse. They reject the proposals. Okay? You know why? Because there's several reasons why they reject the proposal, the marrying proposals. And then of course when you propose, right, you have to provide enough information for them to consider whether they want to accept the proposals or not. Simple as that. Logically, by sense, yeah, literally, it is supposed to be understood in that way. Okay, how we propose this to someone getting married. So, will you marry me? Something like this, but it's not happened yet. Okay, that is what we mean by proposal. So, having said that, how we understand proposal is you need to understand that in the efforts, yeah, like Hannah mentioned earlier, the efforts that we about something, yeah, about something we want to tell someone, right? We want to share with someone about something, our plan, what we want to do, what we are interested in, why we are so interested in doing that. Okay, and then of course we will mention how we want to do it, and then the expectation, right? The expectation. So that is the components or the elements people would like to know. So when we prepare the proposal, we have to make sure that those components is available. Right? Those components is available. If you miss or overlook of those information, of course they will clarify with you, right? They will clarify with you anyway. So they will clarify with you. Of course, I mean it is a very simple question or clarification that they will ask you. The first one is what you are interested in. All right. So that is the first thing that you need to tell the reader. In this sense, maybe the examiner or even your supervisor. Okay. So even when you meet your supervisor, so you would the first thing that you propose to your supervisor is your idea. All right, your idea. You come before you come, you prepare your ideas. You know what you are interested in. So you tell your supervisor. All right, you tell your supervisor, I'm interested of studying this. Okay, when we start like that, and then later the conversation begins. Okay, the conversation begins, the discussion, clarification, and then he start asking you why you're so interested of studying that. Right, that is the second question. Okay, the first question is what is your interest, what you are trying to study, what are you trying to explore. That's the thing. And then the second one is, of course, the second question is why you are so interested of studying that, right? So those questions. And then after that question, the third question come. All right, fine. How do we want to do it? So that is the next question. How do you want to do it? Okay. If I can say, understanding the proposal, at least we can address these three questions. Okay, these three questions. The first one is we have to describe, we have to explain what is the problem that we are interested in. Okay. That is the first one. The second one is we have to answer or to justify or to explain or to elaborate why we are so interested, why we are interested of studying that problems. And then the third one that we need to address is how we are going to do the study. So those three questions. So very fundamental this is. And then you will find that by looking at or by addressing these three questions, actually, you can come out with a very good proposal, very clear, very precise, very specific of proposals, right? Because people can see, can read, can clarify with you about the problems, and then why you interested with the problems, and then the third one, you manage to explain how you want to do or how you want to study the problems, and that is the fundamental question. Okay, any question, any concern, any thought or anything that you would like to share, or maybe you have a contradicted understanding about proposal, anything?
Sir, so doctor, what of if you tell your supervisor this is your proposal and he said it's not good enough, and what can you do?
Anything you would like to respond if the supervisor asking you that question? What is your response?
I have no
Anything?
response and to keep quiet.
No, I mean not you, Bashiru, but let
Okay,
your
sir.
friend
Okay, sir.
responding
Okay,
to
sir.
your concern. Anything?
Okay, sir. So can I start?
Yes, please, Victor.
Yes. So if the supervisor said the proposal is not adequate or is not appropriate, it's for me to go back to the drawing board and try to see what actually will fit into what can be considered to be appropriate. My supervisor does not choose a topic for me, but he or she knows the process of what makes a good proposal to be a proposal. Because at the end of the day, my work will be judged by what the proposal I am dropping. So he or she has a better experience.
Excellent, excellent. Go back to the drawing board. Drawing board. Yeah? All right. Now you start to looking back. Okay, the question is I mean, sometimes the supervisor. I mean, you know, supervisor have a different types of supervisor, different kinds of approach, yeah, different kinds of attitudes. So, of course, what I can say, how we can deal with the supervisor, right? And because you have to find chemistry between you and your supervisor. All right, between you and the supervisor, must be like that. It cannot be, you know, contradicted all the time. You know, you go in different direction. The supervisor say like this, you go this way. So friction everywhere. So I don't think that you have a very good working relationships. So I think when you have that kind of relationship, so I think that is the right time, the best time for you to, you know, to take other options like changing the supervisor and so on. But that's not really the case. Now the situation is now when the supervisor start asking you, so you say you do like this, you are interested in doing this, and then I think the you know why the problem is need to be studied because of this, because of that, and then after you have explained that, and then you said that okay, in order to do this study, I will do this, I will use this design, I will use this types of population and sampling procedures, everything you mentioned it. But still, the supervisor say, "Oh, all right, this is a very interesting topic, but I think yes, this is not sufficient. This is not sufficient." Right. Like Victor said, right? Like Victor said, so that is the moment how you want to respond to your supervisor. Okay, to respond to your supervisor. Sometimes we feel that we have done enough, right? We have done enough, and then still the supervisor said this is not enough. So is still, creating problems in you. So what I can say, if I can respond to the concern, this is also happened to me when I did my master's and my PhD.
Okay.
All right. So, the supervisors, you have to understand the supervisor function, the supervisor roles, and the supervisee. Right. The two different situation. The first one is the supervisor. So those who really understand the problems clearly is the supervisee, right? The students, which is you, which is us, the students who will be conducting the study. But the supervisor at the very beginning, like you proposing the brief ideas about our study. So normally they still, of course, some lecturers or some supervisors, some supervisors maybe they have a very comprehensive understanding, very sound knowledge on the area of the problems, right? But some maybe they still in the process of learning. So that's why sometimes what they normally do is they look from the bigger perspective, right? The bigger perspective. So that's why sometimes when we provide the explanation, seems to them it's not enough. There are many situations why they come to a conclusion to say the proposal is not strong enough, it's not sufficient, all right? This not adequate. So this is, I mean, you can see from the different perspective. The first one maybe from the literature review, right? Literature analysis. Okay, literature analysis. Maybe like I said, maybe in the assignment number 1, then you can see the situation. Sometimes I also experiencing this, supervising a student, PhD students. So he think that he have done a lot in reviewing and surveying the literature. So when I read through, of course, it is very long discussion, but when I read through the latest of the findings and the latest of the references, only up to 2012, right? 2012. That's the situations happen. Why 2012? I said, why 2012? Is it because of the study is stopped there? Nobody interested of studying that anymore? Now we're talking about 2019 or 2020. What happened between 2012 and 2020? There must be something happening. So that's why maybe one of the reasons is that, right? Because we have yet to explore the recent findings related to the problems. So maybe because of that, then the supervisor saying about, oh, this is not sufficient. I think you have to go through further. So you have to explore further, try to find the latest findings in the problems. So maybe one of the reason is that. Okay, Bashiro? And then the way we discuss the problems, okay, how we discuss the problem is not comprehensive enough. So I think I have shared with you some, how we do the analysis in the literature, literature review, how to do the
Yes.
review, and then we can see from there. So how we review the finding, the past finding related to our research interest, maybe sometimes it's not enough. Okay, sometimes the discussion is more descriptive. To see the differences between the descriptive or not is something like this. Although we have lots of references, but the way we present it, the way we discuss it is more descriptive. According to A 2010, blah 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 blah. According to this, however, according to this, and then according to this, and Abdul 2011 saying like this. That is descriptive. We just describe the findings. All right, we just describe the findings. What we need to do is we have to compare, we have to analyze the findings. Like, for example, we do the analysis and try to find related literatures, and then slowly we look into it, and then how we can compare the findings, how we see the previous findings contradicted, something like align, in tandem. So those kind of things, how we analyze it. Maybe that is another reason why the supervisor tend to say the proposal is not strong enough, right, or not sufficient. Right, the first one maybe the literatures, the list of the references that we use in the discussion, and then the second one is maybe the way we discuss it, right, the way we discuss it. So maybe because of that, then I can say if the discussion or the comments from the or the feedback from the supervisor related to the say for example chapter 1, all right, chapter 1, maybe sometimes the comments or the feedback from the supervisor related to chapter 3 or methodology parts, right, methodology parts. So we need to understand, we need to clarify with the supervisor, okay, which part, so that we can improve further. Okay, so that is Bashiru. If I can respond for now, right, for now, so I would say, because the situation is different from one problems to another, or one proposal to another, so it depends on how the supervisor can highlight the problems that he or she identified in the proposal. Okay, is that okay for now, Bashiru?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else? Right. If I can share with you, yeah. Yes, yes,
Sorry
please.
to sorry, but I
No,
just
it's
want to
okay.
ask.
Go ahead.
I just want to ask, when are we gonna write the research proposal?
What do you mean? To submit the research proposal?
Yeah, when are we gonna submit our research proposal? Like, is it in the first semester or the second?
Now, that question actually can be answered by ourselves. Can by ourselves, and how quick, and then how you know, how fast we can work with the literature review activities. Yeah, if I can say, maybe, you know, normally in attending courses like this, yeah, doing PhD or doing masters and full research. So normally in the first semester, so we try to get to know the condition, the situation. So when you ask about me about when we supposed to present the proposals, so normally the schools expect the students to present their proposal around second or third semester, right? Second or third semester. So that is the expectation. Again, that's also depends on the students as well. So sometimes they work really fast, right? They can complete, they can get the proposal done in very short period of time, especially those who doing PhD or masters as a full-time student, right? A full-time student. So we need to work that out clearly. So we don't, because we don't have anything to do. We don't have other things to do, because we doing PhD or masters as a full-time researcher, full-time student. So we can concentrate our daily activity in the research activity. So I think depends on the students. If you think that you want to present it in the second semester, so you have to make sure that like the timetable or the time frame that you need to fulfill before you can start submitting your proposal for presentation, something like that. Okay, so normally in the first semester like this, you have to attend the regular courses, like research courses, and then sometimes the elective courses. those kind of things. So normally in the first semester, we expect the students will settle everything related to the attending courses, attending courses. So by the time, that's why in this course we expect that you can also make use of your actual research interest in preparing the assignments. So that is one of the expectations. So if we can do that, so actually we can cut down the time, right? Cut down the time in working in our research activity. Okay, Daniel.
Okay, got it.
So
Yeah,
it's up to
thank you.
it's up to the student really. So if you think that you can, work so fast, then you can get the proposal done, and your working relationship with your supervisor is very good, very effective. Maybe in second semester you can, submit your proposal, right? Submit your proposals and to present it. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Professor.
Yeah, sure. Anything else? Now, if I can share with you, this is, I'm quite traditional, right? Quite traditional in doing work. Sometimes people prefer to use technology, but to me, sometimes traditional way still effective. Let me show you something like this one. How I did my literature survey and literature review. All right. Let me share with you, just to give you some idea. Not to say this is the best way, but try to get some idea from it, and then how. These normally this is how I did. I finished my PhD in 3.5 years, right? 3.5 years. So I told my supervisor my intention to finish my study in 3.5 years. So because you have other commitments and all that, and being away from relatives, from your parents is not easy. Yeah, that's why I really admire you all, willing to spend time, sacrifice the life to pursue your study, PhD and masters. So that's why. And then we come to a agreement how to reach those 3.5 years. Some they can finish within three years time. It depends because the commitment and so on. So this is how I did my literature review, literature survey, and literature review. So I divided my. Sorry to write with you like this, yeah. I'm not so good in using IT. Hopefully, this can help you and to get you some idea. Literature survey and review. Okay, this is how I did. Okay, stage 1. Okay, normally I call it as layer, layer 1, and then I have layer 2, and then I have layer 3, and so on. I have many layers of doing this one. Right? What I did in this, the literature survey and literature review activities. One thing for sure that you have to know, literature survey and literature review is the longest activities in research. Okay, the longest activities in research, because you have to start off the literature survey and literature review before you can start formulating your research problem. Okay, that's why this is the first activity and then the last activity. So that's why the longest activity in research. So literature survey and literature review. Normally, when you go to the library, those days, you're still using library, but now you don't use library so frequent, so much, because everything now you can get online. You can get online. So maybe some modification and some changes in the way we take the notes. Take the notes. what I did is, let me share with you my personal experiences, and so that maybe you can get some idea how to maneuver and how to modify this, becoming more sophisticated and more easier for you to be used. Normally, when I go to the library, right, I only carry my notebooks, right, my notebooks. So my notebooks is something like my Bible of literature. So I have layer 1. So I start searching, right, in the library, start searching. So number 1, just write down, okay, the findings, research finding, anything, this is research finding. And then I put there full format of references, right? Like, for example, like this. Ahmad M. Say like this one, yeah. And also 2000, okay. And then the title, okay. And then the publisher, and then I put on there, where did I get this? Maybe I sometimes I put like this, page, okay, page 11. So say like this, done. So there's a finding, and then continue reading, continue finding, continue searching. You get another one, okay, the same way, okay. Sean R. And then the same way, 2011. So then put in full, the publisher, and page 230. Okay. You know what I did is I continue doing this, right, until I set my time. Say, for example, I want to do this for 2 months, right, for 2 months. So within 2 months' time, I spend most of my time in the library, searching in the internet to get, you know, anything. You know, like, for example, I have some ideas like this. I want to do, like, say, for example, students. Just get you some example. Yeah, students learning. So this is the topic that I'm interested in. Okay, this is a topic that I'm interested in. You see, I just want to share with you how I start my work. Yeah, this is the topic that I am interested in. Yeah, that time was like you know, you try to playing around with the problems. Now you start off with this. This is, I'm interested in students learning. Okay, students learning. So any studies, any related references, okay, books, theses, articles related to students learning will be covered. So I just write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. Until at one stage you will reach maybe you will reach, who knows, 600. Yeah, it's not no longer 3 but 600. Okay, the 600. You will reach this 600 of references. Okay, within 2 months' time, maybe you can reach more than this. You know what? Sometimes, not to say that 600 is the you will be using all the 600, right? You will be using all the 600, but sometimes you're not going to use it. But this is how, you know, how you start scrutinizing. Yes, scrutinizing. So, and in the layer 2, I start dividing students learning. Okay, factor number 1, I say maybe factor related to parent. Okay, parents, and then teachers, and then maybe the students itself, the students themselves, or maybe related to peers. So I just divide it into more specific so that I can group. I can group the findings into a more specific heading. Okay, now I start grouping them. Maybe parents. Okay, read one by one. Number one, Ahmad. Okay, the finding. What is the finding? The finding it says like this. Oh, this is related to parents. Okay, parents. Number one. And then read number two. Oh, this is. Oh, this is related to students. Number two. And then read number four. Oh, number four related to teachers. Read through number five. Oh, this one is parents. Number six. Oh, this is related to peers. Oh, that's interesting. This is layer number two, right? This is how I did layer number two. Okay. And then you can go little bit more specific if you want to. Like, for example, parents, right? Sometimes, when you go through references, parents, you can divide into more specific, right? Parental, right? Parenting style. It's under parent, okay? Parent attitude is also under parent. So this is how I did, right? Quite traditional, quite traditional. I can say this is quite traditional. I don't think now people are willing to do this, but this is how I did. And then finally, when it comes to a conclusion, you reach lots of numbers like this: 6, 18, 20, right? 53, 64, until you finish with those 600. Okay, now you know. Findings number one is parents, 5 parents, 6 parents, 18 parents, 20 parents. You see, when you want to start writing, okay, when you want to start writing, now you know. The trick is like this. Say, for example, you want to write something about students learning, okay, students learning. This is yet to decide about the title, okay, it's yet to decide about the title. So now you know that from this analysis, from layer 2, you can check out of 600, okay, how many parents, how many references in parents? Wow, this one is 150, okay. How many in teachers? Say, for example, this is 150, okay. Let's say 150. And teachers, 200. Okay, and then the rest goes to students and peers. Now you can see, right, the factors that affecting the students' learning, right, the factors that affecting the students' learning. If you go to the layer number 3, then you can have a very precise distribution of the headings, right? Like under parents, like this one, under parents, 150 out of 150, you can still divide that into more specific and more smaller perspective. Parenting style, parents' attitude, many things. Parenting, parents' behavior. You can see it from here. If you identify here, then you can divide. Oh, this is related to parenting. Number 18 also parenting. Number 53 also parenting. Now you have a very smaller headings. Okay, smaller headings. So when you have this, in fact, you can have more. And under the parenting style, maybe you want to divide. After you read through the references, you find that under parenting style itself, still there are some variation or some perspective. Parenting style under this, under this, under this. Then you can have layer number 4. So how many layers you would like to have is, again, it depends on you. Okay, so that's why when I have this one, when I want to start writing, start to do my writing, so I can see 200. Wow. Okay. Meaning I should discuss the teacher's perspective first. Because why? Because it has the most references related to the students' learning. The second one is parents, followed by students and peers. So from the number of references, you know that you have the most in teachers and parents. So then you can start off like that. That's one thing. The second thing is when you start writing, if you look back to this one, you know, when you do the writing, you won't jump your idea of writing from one heading to the other. So because, you know, 1, 5, 6, 18, 20, 53, 64, you know, this is about parentings. So when you discuss about the findings related to parents, then you know you will be using this until you finish all of them to discuss, right? And then followed by students, followed by the peers. If we don't do this, sometimes, you know, because the information or the references is scattered everywhere, you don't even know this one belongs which headings. So you jumble up like that, and then you start writing, and then start again. Oh, after you discuss the parents, it seems like you have done everything. You have discussed all the references, but okay, then you continue to the teachers, and you just start discussing. And after that, when you look through your references, your records, this is about parents. This is about teachers. So this is the situation. If we don't manage the information like this, so we will be facing a little bit hiccup, in the process of writing. So by having this, at least we can manage the process of writing, okay? The writing process, so that we don't jump from one idea to another. So we will discuss the parenting issues, the parents' issues, and then followed by the teachers, and then followed by the students, and then followed by the peers. And then after that, at the end of the discussion, then we can make a conclusion to make connection between parent, teachers, students, peers to the students' learning. That is how I did in my literature survey and literature review. Okay, this is quite traditional, quite conventional, may not be useful to you, but how we manage that is I think I found it is very, very helpful and useful to my research. And then I can finish my study in 3.5 years. Yeah, Alhamdulillah. So that's the blessing. Yeah. So from my supervisor, I have 2 supervisors, they advise me, and it's so dedicated supervisors, but they are now retired already. So thankful to them and thankful to Allah. Yeah. So how, you know, although, you know, the struggle is there still, but we managed to get through, especially in doing the writings, right? In doing the writings. Right, that is my personal experiences. Hopefully you happy to listen to my personal experiences, and of course, at least you can get some ideas from it. All right, any question? Anything? Hey, the number is now 40. I thought it's only 30 plus. All right, any concern, any question, or anything that you would like to share?
Doctor, can we ask precise questions about the writing of the proposal?
Yes, please.
In the methodology part, is it more logical to use present, future tense for describing the procedures?
Okay. So what is the real problem, Hannah? Is it the writings or the contents of the writing?
Yeah, when we describe the procedures that are going to be done, we mainly use the future.
Yes,
that will be
not the past tense, right? The past tense.
Yeah, and also another thing, could you touch a bit on the abstract writing for the proposal? Because most of the examples are for like full Viva, PhD already completed.
What semester are you now, Hannah?
Second.
Must be excited to present your proposal.
Trying to.
Yeah, good. We wish you all the best. Now,
thanks.
When we talk about proposals, right, we don't need abstract, right? We don't need abstract. The abstract is only after you complete your study. So final report, so you need to have the abstract. So normally we don't need to have abstract. Yeah? For UTM format, we don't ask for the abstract. So what we need to have is the list of contents, right? List of contents. So chapter 1 is what, chapter 2 is what, chapter 3 is what. So we don't need to provide the abstract. So don't worry about the abstract. The abstract only required in the final reports of the thesis, right? The final report of the thesis. Okay, Hannah. So the variation, yeah. You know I have shared the variation of proposal, right? The proposal formats in several universities. I've shared with you Monash universities, Westminster universities, and then some other universities. So you have a look in the e-learning, and you can see that the proposal format is different from one university to another. But what I can say for the UTM practices, normally we expect that you produce chapter 1, 2, and 3. Chapter 1, 2, and 3. So I will update with you from time to time. Yeah. Because I heard that they want to practice. Yeah, they want to practice 40 pages proposal, right? 40 pages proposal. So the proposal is only about 40 pages, and the content is about 40 pages, meaning it's not really about chapter 1, 2, and 3, but 40 pages must consist of the requirement information, the required information. So, but I'm not really sure. But for now, the changes I will update from time to time. Okay, but for now, what being practiced is we expect that you produce a proposal which consists of chapter 1, 2, and 3. Chapter 1, 2, and 3. Chapter 1 is the introduction to the problem of the study. Okay, the introduction, which we will discuss after this, and the chapter 2 talking about the literature review. Yeah, literature review. And whereas in chapter 3, you will be discussed about methodology, research methodology. But again, if you look back to the research design, research approach, if you were working on the qualitative study, right, and quantitative study or mixed method study, I mean, the arrangement of the chapters might be different, right? Might be different because like quantitative format of study is very simple. They have an introduction, they have a literature review, and then they have a methodology part, and then they have a chapter 4, data analysis and results, and then finally they close it with the analysis, and then a discussion, recommendation, and suggestions, including implication. So that is the quantitative chapters format. Okay, the chapters format. But qualitative study is a little bit different, right? Sometimes they just follow the quantitative research format, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But sometimes they have a different way of arranging the chapters based on, but of course it depends on the research design, whether that be ethnographic study, whether that be narrative study, whether that be grounded theory study. So it depends on the research design really for the qualitative study, how we arrange the chapters. Okay, just to highlight with you. If I can share with you this one, yeah, hang on. I've shared this in the e-learning. You can look into that. And let me share with you the screen first. I think some of you have go through the materials. And okay, structuring chapters in thesis. So this is again just a brief guidelines. Okay, doesn't mean that this is the absolute guidelines that you have to follow, but this is more to give you some ideas how you can arrange the chapters. Okay, if you click this one, then you go to the my personal blog, structuring chapters in thesis. I think some of you have gone through this one. I've been through and then get some ideas. So
Yes.
the way I discuss this, based on the chapters from the quantitative research perspective, right? I'm not saying that this cannot be used by for the qualitative research, but anything can be used. Yeah, but what the main concern for you to look through this one is the content of each of the chapters. That's what you need to understand. Like for example, chapter 1, introduction. So I mentioned here about the the overall idea, what need to be provided in chapter 1, in the introduction chapter. So if in fact on the right column, I also suggested this is based on the the expectation of the thesis, the thickness and then the quality. So normally I just highlighted based on the pages, the pages. So like this one, chapter 1, introduction. For PhD, we expect that you can produce 45 to 50 pages, right? 45 to 50 pages. Whereas for the EDD, Doctor of Education, which is not yet to be offered, now we still working on it, or hopefully in 2022, we can start offering EDD, Doctor of Education, in future. So hopefully pray for us and then we can offer this one. We expect that to produce for the candidates to produce 35 to 40 pages, similar to master's full research, 35 to 40 pages. So those are the estimation of the pages. Not to say you cannot go higher or over, more or lower or less. So not to say that, but this is just to give you some idea. In fact, if you go one by one, okay, 1.1, 1.2. So we can expect that. Why, like for example, in problem background, we expect that for PhD, they should make use of 9 pages to present the second question. Remember the second question? The first one is presenting the problem. What is the problems? And then the second question is why you are interested of studying that problem. So that is the problem background. I also mentioned the issues here. Okay, so we expect that we can produce 9 pages at least for highlighting the issues in problem background. And then we go to the problem statement. So you can expect that about 4 pages for PhD and 3 pages for full research masters and EDD. Whereas mixed mode 2 pages. Okay. Research objective, we expect 1 page, 1 page, but because you just outline the objective by number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. The same way, and same goes to research questions. Research hypothesis. Sometimes research hypothesis is hypothesis that you will be trying to test in your study. So maybe because the hypothesis will be listed need to be listed one by one in detail. So that's why sometimes you require 2 pages. And then theoretical framework. This is also we will be discussed shortly. Theoretical framework, 6 pages, right? Now, if I can say like this one, yeah. Okay, maybe later. So I just highlight you the pages. And then followed by the conceptual framework. Yeah, the same way we expect that we need to produce quite similar pages, 6 for PhD and 5 EDD, 5 for research, and then 4 for mixed mode students. Yeah. I'm sure in this section we have mixed mode masters, yeah, mixed mode masters. And then terms and definition. So also we expect that 9 pages, and then finally the conclusion. We expect 3 pages. Yeah. Why we say 3 pages? Because we don't just conclude the discussion without highlighting the issues in the chapters. So that we sometimes we require some pages, up to 3 pages, right? And then literature review, okay? In the literature review, so you can expect 50 to 55 pages, 50 to 55 pages. So we can expect, all right, 50 to 55. So how deep the analysis need to be done, in order to reach 50 to 55. If we just do descriptively, just describing the past findings, if we want to reach 50 to 55, we really need more than, I don't know, maybe 500 references in order to reach 50 to 55. But by having critical discussion, discussing the past findings, sometimes 50 to 55 is very, very short. Yeah, sometimes you can go more than 55, right? If we really discuss critically the past findings, okay? I have an experience, my students, he's doing masters, mixed mode. His literature, he's so good in doing writing and reading, so dedicated students. Now he's doing a PhD in other universities. So when he did his master's with me, so he managed to produce chapter 2 literature review, I think 120 pages. You imagine 120 pages. And then I just said to him, okay, this is excellent, this is good, but you have to reduce down to 40 to 45, at least 50 pages, right? Imagine 120 is so good. The analysis is so good. He managed to publish a lot of articles, indexed in Scopus and ISI as well. So that's why. So finally, he managed to reduce down to 60 pages. And then finally he said that, oh, I can't go further. Okay, then to me, it's fine. 60 pages. Okay, go ahead. Right? Something like that. Because he's good in discussing the literature. And then the chapter 3, the methodology part, the methodology chapter. Okay, so again, we expect 50 to 55 pages for PhD, 35 to 40 for EDD and for research masters, and mixed mode 30 to 35. So under these chapters, so of course you have to have the introduction, research design, population, and samples, and then you have research instruments, and then you have data analysis and pilot study, right? Ethical decision. Don't forget this, ethical decision, and then conclusion. So please take notes of this one, pilot study. Some students, right? Some students, they bring this together, pilot study with the research instrument, okay? They bring it together under research instrument, right? Or some students put this pilot study after the research instrument, and then data analysis followed afterwards, okay? So that's why, sometimes because they want to connect the research instrument and the pilot study activity, because pilot study normally we try out our research instrument, right? Our instrument, maybe our research module, maybe our research, whatever it is related to experimentation. So maybe we bring them together close so that we can discuss it together under one single topic. Yeah. And then finally, the data analysis that will be used in the study. Yeah. Ethical decision, and then finally the conclusion. So those are the chapters for the proposal. Okay, have a look of this one. I'm not saying this is the best, but just to give you some idea. After supervising, yeah, I hope that this writing can reach you easily. Can reach you easily, because sometimes the language is more to the supervisor's perspective. So that's why I try my best in preparing this from the students' perspective, so that they can understand easily, and then they can really understand and what is really happening, right, to the activity. So that's, after supervising more than hundreds of students. Yeah. So those are the things that I think I hopefully very, very helpful. Yeah, helpful to you in not to say just to understand how to do study, but guiding you in the right direction while engaging in the study. Okay. Any question regarding this? So Hannah, I think maybe this can give you some idea. What is the expectation of the proposal? Not to say you have to fulfill like this one, yeah, like 45 and then 50 to 55, and of course this one, yeah. So we do understand, so that's why the title for this one is structuring chapters in thesis. So we expect that the final report, okay, the final report for the proposal, I don't think you need to reach these pages. Okay, you need to reach these pages. Maybe half of this, I think, should be fine. Should literature survey, literature review. So maybe half of this, right? About 20 pages, I think should be okay. The same way goes to the research methodology. Okay, so maybe you go up to 15 pages. No, because proposal, yeah, talking about proposal, we want to propose some ideas, specific ideas about my research interest. So this is what I plan to do, plan to have, everything. So in order to make people understand our planning, so we don't need to have a very lengthy discussion, right? Lengthy discussion. So the shorter, the better. So that's why I heard that I was told that the school try to set the guidelines for the proposals, not more than 40 pages, right? But I'm not really sure about the decision, whether it is a compulsory or not. So I will update with you from time to time, right? For your information, I will make the WhatsApp group, WhatsApp group available until this semester end. Okay, although the session is end. But I will ask the tutors or all the lecturers to make themselves available until the end of the semester. Okay, so I can that is something that I can promise with you. So make use of the WhatsApp group. Yeah, WhatsApp group. You can ask any kinds of question, any types of question, because you have 5 people in there. No, 4 people in there. Me, yeah, myself. You have Dr. Zainal, related to qualitative study. You have Dr. Adiba, right? Discussing about quantitative study. You also have the Dr. Mahyudin, Dr. Mahyudin discussing about the mixed method design, mixed method study. So by having them all together in the WhatsApp group, please feel free, ask any question, right? And then of course, I hope that you follow the discussion. If you don't really posting any question or concern, but I wish that you can follow the discussion, and I mean from the WhatsApp group, and follow the discussion, and then you can at least you won't miss any information, right? You won't miss any information, right? Azrina, I found that in the WhatsApp group so helpful, yeah, in providing information. Yeah. So meaning, so you guys take your responsibility to follow the discussion, right? So that you won't miss any information, right? Otherwise, you will be asking the same thing over and over again, although the information has been discussed, or the information has been shared in the e-learning, but still you keep on asking the same question again and again. So I will make this open, yeah, until the end of the semester, right? Would that be okay for you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We just try our best to assist you in
Thanks.
finishing this one.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Yeah, sure, no problem. All right. Okay, any questions?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir,
Bashiru?
yes, sir. I follow those your guidelines that you give after spending over 2 weeks going through those guidelines. When I sent him the proposal, he asked me to send at least references. Then I sent over 200 references. Then now he write again, rework your research problem again, focusing on main issues related to. So I don't know, sir, what did he mean? Because I have to be hospitalized for that for 3 days.
Wow, so sad to you. So sorry to hear that, Bashiru. So how is it now? Is it okay? Are you okay now?
No, sir. Yes, I'm okay. I'm back to my family now. But
Okay,
he did not respond to me again.
All right, all right.
So I'm afraid if I will survive this thing.
This is actually I don't know whether this is the best place to discuss about your supervisor or not, but anyhow, you take this positively, yeah. You learn from this, not to say difficulties, but more to challenges, yeah. So if I can say, you say you have 200 references, okay, 200 references. So what we mean by reducing, right? Reducing to a more specific issues or topics. So meaning you have to select, right? Sometimes, when you discuss the problems, when you discuss in your problem background, right? Not every references that you have listed at the back being used in the problem background, right? Problem background, because you only use maybe about 20 to 30 references, okay? 20 to 30 references. So because of that, so you can say, what we can say is we just list the references that we were using, okay? We were using in the writing, in the proposal writing, that's it. If total references that has been used in the proposal writing is only up to, let's say, 85 references, so you just list down the 85, the references that you only use in your proposal writing, that's it. And then you can keep the rest for your reference, right? For your reference. So that's how, maybe because of that, I'm not really sure the problem is, but what I can respond to that situation is you can only list down, you only need to list down the references that you have been using in the proposal writing. That's it. If you were using 85, that's it. You just list down the 85. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Bashiru. Sometimes, you have lots of references, 200, 500, but this is not yet to be used, something like that, if I can say. You keep it aside
Okay.
first. Keep this aside. So this is only the references that I was using now. All right. But of
Thank
course,
you,
you
Prof.
don't you lose that. Yeah, Basiru, don't you lose that. You lose that, you die. You have to search again.
True, sir. Thank you, Prof.
The same way like this one, the same way like this one. You know why I write this way? This is the finding. Okay, say for example, the red one is the findings. Like say for example, the results have the result says like blah 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 blah. So this is the findings, and then this is the references, and then this is the page. You know why I write this one this way?
No, sir.
If I need in future, if I need to go back to this reference, like for example number one, right? Number one, I can straight away go back to this one. I don't need to search again which page and so on, but I can straight away go. Sometimes this is sometimes it's unethical, but it's okay. I can share with you. Yeah, this is a bit unethical. So library becomes my first house. So spend most of my times in the library searching for books and so on, references. And then at one time, the book is the hotspot book, hotspot book. Everybody looking for the book. You know what I did? Maybe this is not good for you. Yeah, you don't do that. Okay? You don't do that. But this is what I did. I just want to share how important, the looking for the references. You know what I did? The chef of the reference, the book. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
you took this book from this chef. You know that you want to use this at least for another 2-3 days. If I
Yes, sir.
put back, somebody might
Pick it.
requesting this book, requesting the book and borrow the book. So what I did is I put in another shelf, I put in somewhere closest to there, and then but of course I know where I put it, and then the librarian, they asked me, did you use the book? Yes, I did. Why? I couldn't find the shelf. You see something like this. Oh, I don't know. Maybe someone something like this. So this is the trick. I'm not asking you. I'm not telling you to.
No, it's a good trick, Prof.
Yeah, this is the situation. Sometimes I write the shelf. Okay, the shelf where I get it. Okay, that
Okay.
is that how serious in doing this one. Okay, because you don't have time to go back, search, look back from the terminal, try to look where lines. It's really hard. So that's why you don't lose this. And then if you can provide detailed information about the references, I think this is the best. All right, you can come back at any time if you have to come back. All right.
Thank you, Prof.
Now, I'm not saying you have to this, what was that? To do that. But that's happened. This happened to me. Okay. Any question?
Hello, sir. Sorry to make.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The more, the better. I always consider that. The more, the better. Right? Don't worry.
My
Yes,
research
Anna.
design is following a descriptive case study, qualitative.
Okay.
But in deciding my purpose of sampling, one of the criteria is choosing the most, the high anxious students. To do this, they have to answer a questionnaire. So in this case, does it consider it to be a mixed method, like sequential explanatory design? Although my actual intent is a case study.
Okay. It depends on the design, of course, your research design, right? Your research design. And then because the research design will tell you what types of sampling procedure, what types of instrument, research instrument that you required. Okay, so that's what you need to understand. And then, of course, if you look back to your research objective, right? Research objective. So look back to research objective and research question. Okay. So what is the objective and the question that you were trying to address? right? That will tell you what kind of sampling procedure and then what kind of research instrument, and of course the data analysis. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, you want to use a mixed method or a qualitative case study, or you want to use a quantitative study. So the first one, like you want, when you say you want to select from, what was that, anxious students?
The most high anxious students.
Yeah, anxious students.
Yes.
Yeah, because when you say high anxious, is different, right? High anxious is the level.
Yes.
So now we're studying about anxious student. Anxious about what? Anxious about
the speaking test.
the speaking test.
Yes.
Are you talking about anxious or nervous or fear, or it depends on how you define. Okay. So now let's say, for example, you want to explore the anxious students in attending the speaking test. Okay. Now you need to consider why you need to distribute questionnaire. Right? What are the variables? What are the issues? What are the problems that you want to explore? So again, this is always come back to the research question and research objectives. So what is the question or the issues that you would like to explore from the respondents? If you want to explore this, does this requires questionnaire? Does this requires survey? Does this requires interview? Something like that. So you need, that's how you consider the situation. Sometimes, like mixed method. So you need to understand why we need to use mixed method, the purpose of using mixed method. So we need to understand that, okay? Because that's why they have a explanatory, exploratory, because the function is different. Okay, the function is different. The way we consider, the way we treat the data is different. Okay, if we choose explanatory, how we treat the quantitative data and qualitative data is different. If we choose the exploratory, how we treat the data is also different. So we need to understand that, okay, in order to identify or to recognize which design is really appropriate, is suitable to our study, the problem of study. Like, for example, when I say depends on the problems or the nature of the problem that you are interested in. If we are interested in exploring, right? Exploring the experiences. Now you were talking about qualitative study, which is go in-depth exploration. Okay? Because we're exploring. Exploring does not really related to finding consensus, right? Because quantitative study, normally we try to find consensus, right? The more the better, because consensus, we're talking about consensus, the more the better. But in qualitative study, maybe you consider about looking in depth of the person. So we don't talk about consensus, but we want to learn from the perspective of each of the individual, the anxious students. So it depends on the situation and how you want to explore the problem. Okay, would that be okay, Hannah?
Yes, thank you. So
Yeah.
I can use an observation instead of questionnaire, observing the students to decide who is the most high anxious one, or to choose among them instead of using questionnaire.
Yeah, that's why I said you have to identify. You have to identify yourself. Why do I need to use observation? Why do I need to use questionnaire? Why do I need to use interview? So because like observation producing different types of data. Questionnaire also producing different types of data. Interview also producing different types of data. So they have different purposes. So we need to understand that whether that is really related or the suitable in terms of suitability to our research context. If we want to explore their experiences, right? How, because to understand about the anxious, right, of the students attending the speaking test. So we want to explore the feelings, right, the feeling of the students, and then we explore one by one because everyone experiencing in a different way. So then you'll be talking about the qualitative approach. But if you want to find a consensus, like I said, if you want to find consensus, then you have to have more people. And then, of course, if more people, you can't use interview, can you? If you look back to the quantitative approach, like determining sample size by Cratchy-Morgan. You remember that? Determining sample size, Cratchy-Morgan.
Yes.
And so if you have a population like 500, the Cratchy-Morgan recommended for you to select, not to take all 500, but to simplify, to make it easier, you can select 217, for example, 220, for example. So that's how the table guiding the researcher to choose the number of sample. Okay, but of course, in order to select the individual, you need to use the sampling procedure, right? That's why they have a simple random sampling, stratified, convenience random sampling. So those are the sample procedures that you need to understand. So you have two stages. The first stage is to identify how many, how big the sample that you need. The second one is how do you choose them, right? How do you choose them? Because you need to identify which procedure that suitable to the study. So again, that's the situation. Whereas in the qualitative study, we don't talk about the number. Yeah, we're talking about the exploration of the problems in depth exploration. So that's why normally, people when they identifying or determining the sample size for qualitative study, they normally, this is not to say rule of thumb, but this is normal practices. And normally they consider two situations. The first one is from the time perspective, right? Sometimes you have, like, for example, 3.5 years to finish the study, meaning you can't have more people to be interviewed. So that's simple as that. So you cut down the number, maybe sometimes up to 10 people, up to 15 people. That's one consideration. Another consideration to identify the number of samples for the study, in the qualitative study, based on the saturation procedure. So, like, for example, you interviewed 4 people, right? 4 people, you have interviewed 4 people, and try to compare the responses of those people, right? Those 4 people. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Everyone have produced a different one. Okay, number 1. Try number 2. Okay, I noticed that there is a new information. Try number 3. Oh, again, new information again. Number 4, new information again. Okay, try number 5. Interview number 5. Okay, now the information is getting less and less. All right, it's already fine. Okay, try number 6. Try number 6. And then compare with those number 5, those 5 people. There's no more issue. It's the same. Whatever being said by number 6 has been said by number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1. Right? Let's try again. Number 7. See whether the situation is still the same. Try number 7 to make us happy as a researcher. Okay? So try number 7. Oh, still the same. Whatever being said by number 7 is the same being said by number 6, number 5, number 4. That is a saturation concept. So meaning the data is already saturated. If we go up to 500, still you will find the same responses, something like that. That is the understanding. So normally the way we decide, it depends. So that's why they call it convenience, non-random sampling, sometimes purposeful sampling. So that's how in qualitative study, right? So you need to understand the requirement and the suitability to your problem of study. Okay?
Terima kasih, Doctor.
Yeah. Well, now you can speak Malay, yeah, Hana?
Yes, yesterday we attended class on Malay
That's good.
language.
Very good, very good. You know, when I went to, my first degree is from Indonesia, yeah. So, you know, our friends, we can't speak Indonesia, although the language is quite similar, Malay language, but the way being speak, the way they pronounce the words, everything is a little bit different. Yeah, sometimes you can't follow, right? But you know, this friend, my classmates, they tend to they tend to teach me the the vulgar language. The language not to be used in formal situations. So that's why hopefully you learn something, the better language, and not the like a market language. You know, people will use that for not in the formal situation. So those are, hopefully you can learn more, Hannah.
Yes, inshallah, yes.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, doctor.
Yes,
Hello,
Diane.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I really have a question. See, I just want to examine the relationship between the English learning process and learning outcome in just one of the Chinese ethnic minority group. And I just wonder, which research design I'm gonna use. For example, is it the exploratory sequential design, or the other one, which is explanatory sequential design? So I don't know which one is better. Can you give me some advice?
What was the question again that you would like to explore?
The issue is the relationship between English learning process and learning outcome of the one of the ethnic groups in China.
Okay, look at the words relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
You look at the word
So that means
relationships. Seems to me, I'm not really sure the exact situation, but from the words, I can predict correlational research design. Yeah? Correlational research design is more appropriate. Okay, because you want to explore.
that means,
you want to explore the relationship. You did mention that, right? The relationship. You want to study the relationships. Yeah, seems to me.
So
when you
that
talk
means,
about, yeah.
So that
Go
means
ahead.
I'm gonna use the. That means I'm gonna use the qualitative design first.
Quantitative.
Quantitative first, and then qualitative, right?
Why
because
do you
I'm
need?
gonna just,
Yeah, why do you need to do qualitative? Because you want to see relationship. That is the question that you need to answer. Why do you need to have qualitative in the study? Because what you want to explore is the relationship. Okay, the relationship between A and B. Remember, when we start talking about relationship, we're talking about consensus. We're talking about how strong, okay, how strong. Meaning, if you want to see the relationship to show how strong, meaning we have to have more people, right? More people. The more, the better. So bigger people. So meaning, what you want to see is the connection or the association between A and B. So you don't need to explore anything else. You don't need to explore the experiences because you are looking at the relationship. But if you think that, okay, if you think that you want to use mixed method design, the one that you mentioned, like exploratory, explanatory, sequential, you have to go back to the concepts or the definition of mixed method design. If I can recap, yeah, I'm sure Dr. Mahyudin have mentioned this, and then don't forget the WhatsApp group still open until end of this semester. So keep on asking, keep on clarifying if you still have questions regarding to the issues, specific issues, mixed method design, qualitative design, as well as the quantitative design. Okay, you have Dr. Dr. Adibah, Dr. Zainal, and Dr. Mahyudin. Keep on, right? That is the promise.
Okay.
But in identifying, if I can recap that one, explanatory, explanatory design. Explanatory, of course, it is the mixed method design, mixed method design. If you choose explanatory, normally it starts off with the quantitative study, followed by the qualitative study. Okay, that is explanatory. If you were talking about exploratory, okay, exploratory, normally qualitative will be start first, followed by the quantitative. That is exploratory. What do we mean by explore here? Normally how we explore, see, go back to the qualitative study, exploration, right? Exploration, in-depth exploration. So sometimes before we come out with the specific instrument, because sometimes we also need to identify what is the actual problems in the context of the study. So we don't really understand what is really happening now. So in order to understand, to define our research problem, that's why you need to go for exploratory design. You explore by using qualitative approach, observation, interview. So you go in depth and try to understand the problems, right? From the analysis, from the qualitative data analysis, whether that be from the interview, whether that be from observation. So you analyze the data, and then slowly you get to know what is the real problem. Okay, from that exploration, from that data, then you can come out. You can think of, or you can consider about what types of instrument, what types of construct in the questionnaire. So because in the questionnaire they have a construct, sub construct, right? Before you can identify the construct, maybe the exploration is very, very useful to identify the construct. So that's why normally in most cases, most researchers using the exploration, by using the qualitative data, in order to help them to develop the research instrument. That's one thing. And then the second one, in assisting them to identify the actual problem. Okay, the actual problem. So those are the things when we talk about exploratory. But when it comes to explanatory is a little bit different. We conduct the quantitative study, right? We conduct the quantitative study, survey, distribute the questionnaire to the respondents, and then we start to analyze the data, right? We analyze the data. And then when you analyze the quantitative data, you find out that there's outliers. There are, uncertainties, or there are questions that cannot be answered by the quantitative data. Okay, cannot be answered by the quantitative data because, the experience is different from one person to another. So that's why, I think I need to do some more exploration. When you start thinking of that, to answer the data being produced by the quantitative data, because you cannot answer the question that you still have, I think I need more information. So you follow up with the qualitative exploration, okay, qualitative data. That is how they call it explanatory. You try to explain what has been found in the quantitative stage by using qualitative data. All right. So this is what I mean. In my study, I did mixed method design, explanatory mixed method design. So during the quantitative stage, so I have the distribute questionnaire, everything. So when I analyze the data, there are some questions in my research objective and research question that I cannot answer by using the quantitative data. So how do I answer that? Oh, I think I need to go in detail. I go deep to the person, right? Not by asking their consensus, but it is more to go deeper, because the experiences can only be explored by using this approach. So I follow up with the qualitative exploration, and then finally, from the analysis, the qualitative data analysis, I can justify, right, the findings, my quantitative research finding. So that's the situation why. So that's why you need to look back to the research objective and the research question. What are the questions, or what are the issues that you are trying to explore or you are trying to address? Then you can understand, do you really need qualitative data, or do you really need quantitative data? Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe
Thank you very much,
I don't
Doctor.
know, my explanation is clear, crystal clear. I don't
Yeah,
know.
very clear, very
Yeah.
clear. Thank you.
I wish
Thank you
that,
very much.
I always wish that.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Anything else? Anything else? Okay. If not, I think I'm going to conclude the discussion by looking at the several situations. Yeah. Let me share with you again. This one. Yeah. Okay, let me share with you again. So if you look back to this one, I wish that you go through this one. Yeah, the explanation is here, so that maybe if you still have concern or any question regarding this, preparing the research proposals, and please feel free to do so. Yeah, you make use of the WhatsApp group. Actually, I really encourage to make use of the WhatsApp group, because the moment you ask question, the moment the lecturer is responding to the question, everyone will be reading the same thing. They will be reading the discussion, and then they can also get benefits from it. Okay, there is no issue of whether the question is not a quality question. There is no such quality question. Okay, anything that you have, the concern or the anything, the question, so please feel free, just ask question. Maybe if you think that you need some feedback from specific lecturers like Dr. Adiba in quantitative and Dr. Zainal in qualitative, and Dr. Mahyudin mixed method, please do so. Or even if you want to ask me instead, so please feel free. Okay. Now look back to this one. Yeah, just follow the UTM proposal format. Problem background, what you need to understand in problem background. Okay, I also shared some perspective from other universities, how we can understand the problem. The simple question to understand problem background is, we have to justify the second question, why we are interested of studying the topic. Simple as that, right? Why we are so interested, why we interested of studying that. So we need to provide some discussion, right? Some discussion by using previous findings, right? By using previous findings related to the problems, okay? Maybe it is also related to the theories, maybe it is related to the concepts, maybe it is related to the specific factors. Whatever it is, you want to justify, right? Why? That's why they call it background, right? The background of the problem. So why you are interested in of studying it? Something like a license, yeah, not license to kill, but license to do research. Yeah? License to do research. If we manage to provide enough information to justify why this problem is important to be studied, or why the study is very, very critical to be conducted, in this part, in this section, so I can say you have the license to conduct the study, right? Because especially in providing the latest finding, research finding. Normally in the problem background, so we need to make use of the latest findings. Okay, try not to use, you know, very old findings. Right? Not to say the finding is not relevant anymore, but in highlighting the current situation. So of course we need to provide the latest findings. If we can say maybe the last 5 years, right? Or the most maybe you can go the last 7 years from now, 2013. So I think that should be okay. So by producing this kind of discussion, the license is there, right? And then you can expect that, oh, this is a very interesting study. This is very, very critical study. I'm looking forward to know the findings. What will you get at the end? That's why I said here, as a license for the study to be conducted. Okay. And as in problem statement, right? Don't get confused with the problem background. Yeah? Problem statement more to stating the problem. Stating the problems. That's why the most important part here is to highlight the variables of the problems. Okay, the variables that you have identified here in the problem background. What are the variables related to the problems? So you highlight here, the most important here is, you know, like this one, what so-called mini summary of the discussion should be presented by highlighting specific issues at the end. So that's why you can consider that you have mentioned the gaps that existed in the literature. So what I can say, you highlight the research issues, the issues that you have discussed in the problem background, bring it here and try to make connection, right? To make connection between variables or between issues that you have identified in the problem background. So that's why we expect you to produce about 3 pages only, right? Anything related to references, discussing the references, try not to be used in the problem statement, okay? Because you are no longer discussing the past findings. You only stated the problem statement. The problem, just state the problems. That's it. So anything related to the literatures, it is advisable for you to finish it during the problem background discussion. Okay, not to say you cannot use references at all in problem statement, but it is advisable, right? Because this is the place where you state the problem, you know, the connection between issues or between variables of the study, like students learning, maybe related to parents, teachers, peers, and the student himself. So how those variables connected, right, in order to give a big picture to the research, to the research. And then in the research objective, you just list down one by one, right? And one by one, okay? List down one by one. I think by looking at the sample of thesis, I think you can get some idea from it. The same way like research objective, research question. So you just write like research objective, it's a statement in statement form, but in the research question, of course, in the question form, something like similar things, but you write in the different forms. One is in statement form, or in the other one is the question form. All right. Okay, I think we don't need to discuss this. I'm sure you have discussed this with Dr. Adiba. If not, maybe you can still ask Dr. Adiba related to this one. Yeah. Now let's talk about the theoretical framework. Yeah, the theoretical framework. So you know the expectation. Yeah, very simple expectation. This is not, again, not a rule of thumb, but by simple explanation, yeah, to understand. For undergraduates, we don't need theory. Simple as that. We don't need theory because it's more to presenting the nature of the problem. This is the problem. So how the situation is that? So that is undergraduates. When it comes to the master's level, master's level, especially mixed mode full research, right? Mixed mode full research. Now you have to have theory, specific theory that underpinning the problems that being studied. Okay, the being studied. So if you think like like students learning, so at least you can some among theories that you can consider is learning theory. Okay, if you're interested in students learning, so among the theory that you can consider is learning theory, because under learning theory they have lots of theories. So maybe under that learning theories you can identify, okay, the specific theories that really related to the students learning that you were trying to study. Okay, and then for the master's level, you have to test whether the theory is still relevant or still applicable, right? By specific data analysis from the findings, then you can contend whether the theory is still applicable or still relevant in this context. Okay, that is master's level. So the way you write it, the way you discuss it, so you have to show how the theory being used for the study. Okay, so that at the end you can contend in the discussion whether the theory is still applicable or not, or still relevant or not in this current context by using your research findings. That is master's level. To differentiate with the PhD, to the PhD, or maybe sometimes with the EDD, is another level, which is you have to explain why it is still relevant. Okay, why it is still relevant or still applicable. So the answer you will get the answer from the data analysis and the discussion. Okay, so those are the things to differentiate between the requirement of masters and PhD. Okay, the masters is your job to test whether the theory is still applicable or still relevant. So you need to have to that level. Whereas in the PhD, not just to test the theory, but you have to go another level, which is to explain why the theory is still applicable or still relevant, to differentiate the level and the quality of the study. Okay, is it okay? I mean, can you clear? You have very clear on that?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so I mean, just to give you some idea to differentiate, and sometimes you think that master's level, how far should I go? So that's I mean, a very simple question, critical question that you need to answer. Yeah. Whereas in the conceptual framework, this is related to the variables, right? Related to the variables being studied. Okay, the connection here, this is actually related to the research statement, problem statement. We mention here in sentences. Okay, we mention here in sentences. Then we highlight here in diagram, right? In a diagram, so to show how the the variables connected, right? Sometimes you want to see the relationships. Sometimes you want to test the effects, right? Those are the situation that you need to discuss in the conceptual framework. Okay. And then we have terms and definition, right? Terms and definition. Don't forget, we have two types of explanation. The first one is conceptual definition, and then the second one is operational definition. The conceptual definition, maybe you can, the definition that you get or you derive from literatures, right? From literatures. Some students, they tend to, they like to use from dictionary, encyclopedia. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. But we expect that for you to come out with the conceptual definition about certain concepts or variables that you need to define so that people can have a clear understanding what we mean by these concepts, what we mean by these variables. And we expect that we can come out with the concepts or of the definition from the literatures. Yeah? We derive that from the literature. So that is the situation that you need to provide. And then the second one is the operational definition. The operational definition, if the conceptual definition, defining or deriving definition from the literatures, okay? In operational definition, what we need to say is how we define the concepts in this study, right? In the conceptual definition, we're deriving from the literatures. But now, in operational definition, we need to define how this concept being used in this study, right? Those two differences. Yeah, first from the literatures, the second one operational, how we use the concepts in the study. So how we consider, how we use the definition in the study. Okay, that's it. And finish your chapter 1. Right? Finish your chapter 1. Chapter 2, again, the literature survey and literature review. Chapter 3, methodology. So, of course, you know, the connection between chapter 1 and 3, you know, that's why most literatures mention about the importance of chapter 1, because chapter 1 will tell us everything, the direction of the study, okay, the direction of the study. If we manage to present the whole idea about this research, right, the whole idea of the research, so people can only need chapter 1. By reading chapter 1, they can understand the whole study. You know why? Because, you know, from the problem statement, from research objective, you know the direction, what they will be, the topic or the issue will be studied by the studies. Okay, and then you're talking about the hypothesis, framework, everything. This is the reflection of the methodology being used, will be used in the study. Simple as that. So that's why in the research methodology, you just follow. Okay, it just follow. If you say, for example, you have a research objective like, examining the relationships, right? You want to test the relationship. You want to test the effects. You know already. See the word like relationships, effects. It shows like, I mean, it reflected about quantitative study, right? Quantitative study, because you're looking at the quantifying things, like statistical analysis. It shows like, wow, this is a quantitative study. And of course, when you have that kind of list of questions or list of objectives, the research methodology is supposed to explain about the quantitative research design. So see these two things connected. If you mention about exploring, right, you want to explore the experiences of the students or the samples. And of course, in the research methodology, especially in the research design, and then it will be clear for the reader to see the connection between that, because when they see the research design, they know that this is a qualitative study because the exploration, right? And then it's also reflected in the population and sampling research instrument. Population and sampling, so how you select the population. And you have if I can recap like population and sampling, the sampling procedure, we have two types of sampling procedure, non-random and random sampling, right? These are the two things, random and non-random, simple as that. So you know that if you use the qualitative study, normally we use non-random sampling, okay? And of course, if we use quantitative study, usually we use random sampling, right? It depends on how you define your study. Sometimes you want to test the hypothesis. Of course, you need to use random sampling. And if you think that you want to test the hypothesis or you want to test the theory, you want to develop the model. So of course you need to use random sampling, okay? Because that is the requirement of the statistical analysis. And then the same way goes to research instrument, right? Research instrument. So the same thing, if you are a qualitative study, so some option that we can consider is the protocol interview or interview protocols or the observation protocols. So those are the instruments for the qualitative study that normally being used. Yeah. Whereas if you proposing the quantitative study, of course, the research instrument normally like testing, questionnaire, experimenting things. So those kind of research instrument, right? So you have maybe the set of test, the set of questionnaire. So those are the usual instrument being used in quantitative study. And when we go to the data analysis, of course, you will, I mean, it also aligns to the discussion. So in data analysis, if it is a quantitative study, so you can expect that percentages, frequencies, t-test, correlation, maybe regression, right? ANOVA, those kind of statistical analysis related to the quantitative study. Whereas in qualitative study, thematic analysis, like content analysis, so you want to analyze the thematic analysis of the interview transcripts. So those are among the data analysis procedure, right? Data analysis activity in qualitative study. And of course, you also mentioning about the software, okay? Software, maybe some using SPSS or Excel, some maybe in qualitative study, they use NVivo and alike, right? So those are aligned from beginning in the introduction until the research methodology. So by having this and by providing the alignment between chapter 1, 2, and 3, and people can see the actual situation and the actual problems, why, I mean, the justification, why the study need to be conducted, right? Otherwise, they will still asking the same question. I don't see any problem, right? I don't see any problem. Why do you need to study this? Although we think seems that we have provide everything, every discussion, but still the questions arise and being asked the same thing. Like, I don't see any problem because we fail to address the problem. We provide the real situation. Maybe one of the reasons is because we don't use the latest research findings, because if we use the old research findings, sometimes now becoming no issue anymore, because we fail to produce or to use the latest findings. We fail to see the situation. This is kind of situation. Sometimes, you know, when we think that even we use the latest findings, still people can say this is the common issues. This is this has been studied by previous study. So, meaning, can this be studied? Of course we can. Of course we can. So, in order to say we can, we have to justify why we say still relevant to be studied. So that is the question that we need to answer, especially in problem background. Problem background. Okay. All right then. Any question? So quiet. You still with me, guys?
Yeah.
We are clear, Prof.
All right. So like I said, we promised that to keep the WhatsApp group open until end of the semester, so that you can make use of the conversation, yeah, to the medium. So I'm sure you
Yes, Prof.
still have concern to be asked. Yeah? So don't hesitate to make use of the WhatsApp group. Okay. All right. If no more, I would like to discuss about this a bit, yeah, about the assignments. Okay, anyone?
Doctor,
Yes.
can I have break for 10 minutes, please?
I just want to finish this within 10 minutes. Is that okay, Mariam?
Okay, it's fine, but to pray.
I know. Me too. I just want to take another 10 minutes and then we're done. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. And right now, see about the assignments. Yeah, about the assignments, I have made some changes about the assignment, the due date. Okay, please take notes. I think I've mentioned that. I would like to address again. Assignment number 1, number 2, number 3. The due date is 30th of December. Right, 30th of December. Okay, please take notes of that. So maybe I can update the due date in the e-learning later. So take notes. Assignment number 1, number 2, number 3, 30th of December. Okay, 30th of December 2020, not 2021. Yeah. And then assignment number 4 and number 5, research data simulation and presentation. Video presentation. So we open until 10th of January. Okay, 10th of January 2021. 2021. Okay, you got that? And for this one, the e-project. Yeah. Sorry for some information still in Malay language. Yeah, maybe we can update later slowly. Yeah. If I can, if I can show with you, I'm sure some of you have submitted. Okay, some of you have submitted, but I told the management, I mean the operator of the system. So they said like Lee Siyan have submitted the assignment 1, but now we keep that for a while. So but we keep open. So any submission is 0, back to 0, because we have set the new due dates for submission, which is assignment 1, 2, and 3 up to 30th of December. So that's why the submission is empty. So what you need to do is, of course, from the discussion, if you think that you want to make some more changes, some additional, so you can do so up to 30th of December. So, and then during, by 30th of December, make sure you submit the assignment number 1, number 2, and number 3. Yeah? Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, whereas assignment number 4 and number 5, up to 10th of January 2021. Yeah? I'm sorry to those who have submitted the assignment number 1. So after we change the due date, the column is, the submission is empty. So what you need to do is, like I said, if you think that you still want to do some changes, some additional in the assignments, please do so. And then you still have until 30th of December. Okay.
Hello, Prof.
Yes, please.
Prof, I submitted assignment number 1, number 2, number 3.
Okay.
Does that mean that they are all now 0? I will now reload again.
Yeah, you have to submit that. Like I said, you can submit now, resubmit now.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem, Prof.
Or if you think that you want to do some changes, right?
I want to
After
add
some
changes.
discussion, some changes.
Yes.
You still have time until 30th of December.
Thank you, Prof.
Sure, but you have to check the e-project for the submission. Yeah, make sure you submit the assignments.
Okay,
Is it
Prof.
okay?
Thank
Is it
you.
okay, Bashiru?
Thank you, Prof.
All right. Any problem with the submission? Like what we have shared with the students, what you need to do is to use your ID detail, ID detail to access to this one. I think shouldn't be a problem. Most of the students have managed to submit their assignments, meaning there is no problem to access.
Hi, Doctor. I have checked my e-project. The submission of the first assignment is still there, the PDF.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's not zero.
Well, lucky you.
So I
Lucky,
don't
yeah.
again for
No,
the
it's okay. Still, if you think that you want to do some changes, you still can you can do so, and of course you still have time because you still have time until 30th. So if you want to check the assignment, I need the rubrics of the marking. Yeah, you can check yourself. Those are the expectation. Yeah, the expectation of the assignment. So we have 20 items, and you can see the expectation of each of the components.
yes, thanks.
All right, and then again, of course, you have to look back to the guidelines that we provide for completing the assignments. All right, okay, so I think that's all for the final session. And with that, we wish you all the best in your study, in your research activities. Like I said, we keep ourselves open until end of the semester, yeah, especially the WhatsApp group. So make use of that, and then if you still have any concern, even to discuss, yeah, about your actual proposal, right? Actual proposal. Like for example, you have done the assignment, you have submitted all the assignments, but now you have concerns about your actual proposal, right? Besides discussing with your supervisor, you still want to discuss with us. Please feel free. Yeah, please feel free. No worries. Yeah, we open until end of the semester. But I would expect that only focus on the research activity, right? If you have problem with your supervisor, maybe if you want to discuss, you should discuss personally, not using the WhatsApp group, right? So that is it's quite discreet, yeah, when discussing relationship with the supervisor. Okay, hope you can understand that.
Excuse me, doctor, what about the attendance for today's lecture?
All right,
Marking the attendance.
hang on, I'll check with you. Let me stop sharing first. Hang on. Okay, hang on, yeah. Give me 1 minute. I just want to Okay. One more. Okay, I'll share with you the screen. So, hang on. All right, hang on. This is, hang on, 1070. The left side is 1070. This is 1074, the second one. And then at the bottom is, hang on. What is this? 1080. Okay, 1080. And then the last one is 0010. Okay. All right. There. Okay, this one is 1070, 1074. This is 1080. This is 10010. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, doctor.
Yeah.
Sir, I cannot attend the attendance because I don't have the application.
Who's speaking? Ghafuri. Ghafuri, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe you can
Yes,
try.
sir.
Maybe you can try download the application. Yeah, but it's okay.
Please, dog.
For now. Yeah,
Yeah, I have tried my best, but it's not working here in Afghanistan.
It's okay.
Please, Prof, which one is 0010?
The far right one.
The down right one?
The far right. The far right.
Okay.
All right. You got that?
No.
Any problem? Sometimes with the connection.
It's not 080.
Sorry, Mariam?
It's not letting me scan 1080.
Sorry, one by one, please. Mariam, again?
Yes, I'm saying it's not letting me scan 1080.
The 1080 is this one.
Which one? It's not letting me scan it.
The third one.
Yeah, I am trying to scan it, but it's not letting me for some reason. Last time, yeah.
I can't help that.
Just
because of the connection or
okay, now it let me. Now I've done it.
Right.
Thank you, doctor.
Sure. Sometimes sometimes the app doesn't work, but it's okay. To me, it's fine. And of course, from the list of the name on the WebEx, we can see we have 40 students at this moment. Yeah? Okay, another 2 minutes to finish the attendance.
Doctor, please.
Yes.
Can you expand the 0010, the last one on the right, because it's not showing. It's not fully showing in the.
Okay, sure. Hang on.
Come inside.
So how's it now? Is it okay?
Prof, yes, doctor. It's working. Thank you very much. Thank you, doctor.
Yeah, sure.
I have challenges with my system because there is no light here, Prof. I'm using my handset.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, try your best. It's okay. If you can't still can't get through. All right, another 1 minute, please.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure. Maybe after this we have to download the UTM Smart apps so that maybe I'm sure in future you will need to use the apps frequently. Yeah, so try to download that afterwards. Okay, I close the registration,
Hello, doctor.
attendance.
Hi, doctor. Professor.
Yes.
This is Stephen. How are you?
Sorry, can't hear you.
Stephen with you. We need to have the link for the application. Download it from there.
The link, the UTM apps. Stephen?
UTM Smart is not working here.
I see. I don't know how to respond to that. Maybe I can talk to the management regarding this issue. Then maybe they can look into it. Yeah, is it okay, Stephen?
Hello.
All right. Okay, guys. I think don't worry so much about the attendance. I have it here, and the name is here. So if I want to, if I want to check, so I can see it from here. Okay.
Sir, thank you very
no
much.
worries. Okay. So thank you very much for your time and wish you all the best in your study. Like I said, we will make ourselves available, especially through WhatsApp group. So make use of that. Any concern, any question, please feel free. Yeah. We try our best to assist you in this sense. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. Have a nice day and all the best. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof, for your kindness.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Okay, bye all.
Bye.
Bye, Doctor.
Thank you. Bye, Professor.
Thank you, Prof.
Hello.
Thank you, Prof.
Hello, Professor. Hello. Hello, Professor.
Thank you so much. Bye.
So I think Stephen is still speaking. He wants to say something. We can't hear him.
Yes. What can I do?
I'm very sorry I came a bit late because I had exam at the university today and I know it's common for many students.
Well, it's okay, Stephen. You can listen to the recording. I will upload the recording, and hopefully the recording will help you.
Okay, thank you.
And again, like I said, we will make the WhatsApp group open until end of the semester. So if you have any other concerns related to this, you still can connect with us in the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Yeah, is it okay if I text you personally because I have some clarification?
Yes, you can. I will ask the other lecturers to make themselves available until end of the semester. Is it okay if we stay until next end of the semester?
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. Hey, take care, Steven. Drive carefully. You're driving, right?
Yeah, I just came out from the university.
Yeah. Carefully. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. You just take care. All right. All the best, Steven.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah. Walaikum salam.